I'm with Suzanne Drake of Anshen and Allen, San Francisco architecture firm, that is here at IDEX with a greened medical suite. Please explain what we've got here.
Sure. Basically, this is a concept room where we've incorporated all the latest evidence and research that we are familiar with, our expertise and knowledge about medical design and also sustainable design, and putting it into the idea of a patient room and what that might look like if we can explore and exploit every positive aspect that we can. So we started with all the basic components of a patient room with staff area, patient area, family zone, and one innovative thing we've added to that is the idea of a terrace or a balcony, a connection to the outdoors. How can we push that to even more than just a bigger window? It's actually provide a space for the patient to be able to occupy. And in further conversation about that, we talked about shelter in place, the ability of a facility to operate while there's a regional disaster going on. And like think of Hurricane Katrina, how much those rooms could have been used longer with natural ventilation and good daylight in the spaces. Did you have questions?
Well, so show me some of the components,
Sure.
like
So,
this.
In the staff area, we have in-room charting and in-room storage, and we feel like this is really important for healthcare because it keeps the staff in the space at the bedside instead of running around on the floor looking for supplies. Little details like a charting light at night. They can come in and turn that on instead of turning on overhead.
All of the lights.
Yes,
They're
so
not always
there's
on.
energy conservation there, but it's also about the patient and not disturbing them and letting them recuperate.
Right.
Let's see, talking about controls for the patient themselves. Every patient bed comes with the remote, and it's usually just for the TV.
Right.
And we're talking about what else can we put on there? Can we put the controls for the lighting, dimmable lighting, turning them on and off?
Right.
Window shades that are motorized, maybe. We have an electric glass at the observation window.
Oh,
that
like
on
liquid
and off.
crystal glass that they can just turn
yeah.
on?
So when the staff gets distracted
Excuse me,
and
I'm
they left
filming
it open by accident, they're able to close that instead of lying there getting more and more frustrated with their blood pressure going up.
Right. What would you say the greenest features, Tree Hugger, is about the green experience?
Yes.
So I love these parents' room. Eb Zeidler did this when he was doing the Sick Children's Hospital in Toronto, was one of the first to design the hospital so that it could actually accommodate families. When my son was having an operation, I remember sleeping on the floor. So it's like really wonderful that you're building such, I won't say lavish, but comfortable accommodations into a medical suite.
Well, we're trying to provide space, and space is always at a premium, so it may not be this much space, but just the idea of a dedicated area that the family doesn't feel like they're in the way or just oh, sit over there in the corner. Trying to give them some conveniences because, again, the research shows us that family involvement with the patient helps the patient. And in the long run, too, when the patient goes home, they're the ones that they've been engaged in the patient care here, they're going to do better when they go home. But you're asking about green finishes.
Yeah, not just finishes, what do you think the biggest green trends in hospital design will be?
Well, it's hard to say as it is in the room itself. I mean, we see green design affecting entire building systems.
Of course.
Hospitals, especially with the whole shelter-in-place idea that I mentioned earlier, are looking to try to make themselves less vulnerable to natural disasters.
Right.
And, that involves major rethinking of how the building is put together, where the services are located, getting air conditioners out of basements and things and bringing them up for flooding.
Oh, of course.
Stuff like that. So, in a room, I think the idea of green finishes being less toxic and improving air quality inside, all of those things the hospitals are beginning to understand are important for the patient again.
Right.
And it's something that can help set them apart from perhaps the hospital down the road that somebody might choose to go to.
So just in conclusion, tell me briefly about the firm. You do hospitals a lot?
Yes, Anshen and Allen. We've been doing healthcare and academic work since in 1940.
Ooh.
And I think we're the third largest firm internationally that focuses on healthcare, and I think we might be number one in the States. I'm not sure.
Thank you very much.
Okay.